Hey guys, it's Diana. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about my June 2021 favorites. I have not done a video like this in a very long time. A few people had requested it, so here we are. My first thing that I want to talk about is my favorite scent for this month, and that is this, the Happy Hippie shower gel from Lush. I just got it earlier this week, so I haven't actually had a chance to use it yet, but it is grapefruit scented, which I think is really nice for the summer because it has like a sort of citrusy scent to it, but also is a little tart. I think this has been around for a long time. I've been shopping at Lush for quite a few years now, but I never actually picked it up. And when I smelled it in the store, I decided that it would be a really nice thing to try and get. I got the smallest sized one, the 3.3 ounce bottle or whatever. So I'm really looking forward to actually using this. It does smell really good. I've heard that, you know, it leaves your skin soft. I really like Lush's shower gels. Yeah, it does have a sort of tart citrusy scent to it. It's really nice. So that's Happy Hippie. Next, I'm going to talk about my favorite drink, and I have been drinking a lot of matcha. I've been making iced matcha lattes in the morning, and I think that my favorite one so far has been the mocha matcha. It is really good. I saw some people say in the reviews on David's Tea's website that it left kind of a weird aftertaste to it. I personally didn't find that when I had it. It does have like a slight chocolatey taste to it, but it also has that sort of little coffee taste to it. Keep in mind, this is nothing like the Starbucks mocha syrup. It's not like that strong, but it does have a little bit of caffeine to it, like all of the matcha does from David's Tea. So I have been using that in place of coffee to get my caffeine fix, and it tastes really good. So that's my favorite drink. Now, usually in these I talk about my favorite food, but I'm going to talk about my favorite snack, which is pretty much the same thing, and that is this Hawaiian Host dark chocolate macadamia nut clusters. They are very good. I got these from my boyfriend. He sent me 2 boxes. This is 1 box, and I think there's only like 1 or 2 left in here. I do typically like milk chocolate more so than dark, but the dark does taste very good. It has a nice strong chocolate flavor to it. It tastes like actual good chocolate too, none of that Hershey's nonsense. So I mean, I think these are really good, and the nuts definitely do add something to it. My favorite clothing item is actually this dress that I'm wearing currently. I got it earlier this week from American Eagle. It is really comfortable and very flowy. It has adjustable straps to it, which I love, and it's really cute. It has a smocked edging to it at the top, and it has embroidery below the bust and at the hem. It has like a sort of dusty rose flowers all over it. The actual dress is kind of like a creamy color, and it's not tight or fitted. It's really flowy and breezy, perfect to wear on a nice summer day. I have a couple other sundresses that I bought recently, and they are very comfortable, but so far I think that this one really takes the cake. It's very comfy, and when I got it, it was half off, which like to me is really fantastic. Next, I usually talk about my favorite movie, and I haven't seen any movies in a long time in theaters. I know that, you know, most of us haven't. The more recent movie that I saw was on Netflix. It was The Mitchells versus the Machines. It had a really great story to it, in my opinion, like the whole, you know, family against the world and the robots with the technology trying to take over the world. It was really fun. I definitely recommend that you watch it. I think that it may be audio described too. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. It was a really cute movie. It's on Netflix. I think that Sony puts it out. It's the same people who did Into the Spider-Verse, and the animation is just like beautiful. There are a lot of really great jokes in it. It was really heartfelt as well. It's a good movie. I thought it was very cute. If that's something that you're into, I would definitely check out Mitchells versus the Machines. My favorite TV show was kind of hard for me to choose this time around. I've been watching so many shows recently, like it's not even funny, but I think that hands down it's Superman and Lois. It airs on the CW. It is part of the same universe as their other DC superhero shows like The Flash, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Arrow, and all of them, you know, the quote-unquote Arrowverse. But Superman and Lois doesn't have the same feel to it as those other shows. It's kind of like more or less almost cinematic in terms of how it's produced and how they portray everything and use lighting and filters. It's a really amazing show. It's a lot of suspense. It's like, you know, tugs at your heartstrings. It's about Superman and, you know, Lois Lane, and you know, their parents. They're raising their sons, and it's about Superman still being Superman, and he also is raising a family, and it's just a really good show. I highly recommend that you at least try checking it out. You can stream it for free on the CW's website. They have all of the extended cut versions up. I've been watching it the next day on there instead of watching it on TV, and it's such a good show. Like, I can't even begin to tell you. Like, even if you don't like the whole superhero aspect of it, I definitely highly recommend that you watch Superman and Lois. It is amazing. Next, I'm going to talk about my favorite book, and that is this one, The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. It is so good. I read this over the span of a few days, and I ordered the next 2 books in the series. Well, actually the second and third, because this is a trilogy, but it is by Rochelle Mead, who did the Vampire Academy series and the spin-off Bloodlines, as well as a few other series. I really like her writing style. I think she's a great author, and this book really intrigued me. I read a sample of it on Amazon. It is about a noblewoman, a countess, who basically escapes an arranged marriage by taking the identity of one of her maids, basically assuming her position in what's called the Glittering Court, which is more or less a finishing school, trying to take girls from, you know, lesser, more impoverished backgrounds and turn them into young ladies, young noble ladies, to be wives to men in a new country that they're establishing and colonizing from this old country. It sounds like your typical young adult teen romance novel, but it really isn't. There's a lot of hardships in this book that these girls go through. It's a really great story. The world was very interesting. There were a few things that I think could be fleshed out, but I believe that the second and third books do a better job of that. At least that's what I've seen in reviews. The first book is told by Adelaide's point of view, who's the main character here, and the second and third books are told by the points of views of other supporting characters who are in the first book. I am going to get those on Monday, which, like, this video will be out by the time I get them, so I will be sure to report back later on my opinions on those 2 books. But I really liked The Glittering Court. The back of the book right here says, a dazzling romantic new fantasy series set in a mix of Elizabethan and frontier worlds from Rochelle Mead, #1 internationally best-selling author of Vampire Academy. And speaking of Vampire Academy, I think that Peacock is starting to do a series based on it soon. Like, they're in production or they're in writing for it, so that should be fun. Last but not least, I guess I should talk about my favorite activity, and I don't really know where to go with this because I've been so locked up indoors because of the pandemic, and so has everybody else. I've been reading a lot, and I've been taking up video games and just binging on Netflix. But I mean, in general, I like to go for walks. I've been trying to get more active. I guess, like, that's a good activity because, you know, it gets you active. More or less, I spend my time playing Animal Crossing and, you know, reading when I have a book to read. So I don't know. I mean, video games and walking, I guess, are my favorite activities. I could say going to the beach because I have gone to the beach a couple of times this summer, but I don't really like sitting out in the sun all day. It gets kind of boring, and I don't want to go for a walk up and down the beach because that gets really tiring. That seemed kind of underwhelming. I probably could have skipped the favorite activity thing, but that's okay. We're here now. With that, I am gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.